Can you guys please help me get Green Beret Master Sergeant Jeremy Brown out of jail? He received a presidential pardon weeks ago and they're still holding him in custody. Please watch this whole video, give it a thumbs up, and share it with as many people as you possibly can.
You could be here forever.
I will be here as long as the American people leave me here.
Jeremy was at the Capitol providing security.
I mean, he's quite literally the poster boy for the Special Forces.
When you were arrested, they never sat you down and said, "Is this yours?"
No, because they're the same officers that recruited me on December 9th of 2020.
From Department of Homeland Security.
The same two guys.
These people are hiding all of this information, and judges have let them get away with that.
Tell me about Jeremy Brown. Why is this guy so important? I thought he was a revered veteran, ma'am.
Well, he is a revered veteran, decorated war hero, who was a Green Beret and who spent many years serving this country in special operations. And Jeremy Brown, is an interesting case because in December, before January 6th ever took place, he had just joined the Oath Keepers. He wanted to maintain the oath that he made when he put on that uniform. And he had been there for like 2 weeks, and 2 JTTF agents show up at his door and they want to talk to him. Basically, they want him to snitch on the Oath Keepers. And Jeremy Brown is not a snitch, right? And also, he's a guy, he worked with JTTF all over the world when he was deployed. He knows how this is done. He knows when you're working someone, right? And he says to them, "I'm going to record this with your permission." They say, okay.
Did the FBI have confidential human sources embedded within the January 6th protesters on January 6th of 2021?
Well, Congressman, as I'm sure you can appreciate, I have to be very careful about what I can say about when.
Even now, because that's what you told us 2 years ago.
And what Jeremy Brown did was what really made them upset, because he took that evidence of a setup and he made it public. And then lo and behold, this guy who went to the Capitol, who was never accused of violence, who never went inside the building, he was doing security for a VIP who was basically, there was a woman who was speaking and her mother was attending the rally. She was an elderly lady. She needed someone to look after her. So that's what Jeremy Brown did. He looked after an old lady. Okay. And he didn't get into anything with anyone. They came after him on misdemeanor charges, raided his house, which is now a familiar pattern with January 6th defendants, which is a violation of their constitutional rights, because you come storming into their house without just cause.
And what am I being arrested for, gentlemen?
It's a trespassing for up at the Capitol is what it. We're not.
I was trespassing on the Capitol.
Behind the barriers and stuff like that.
No.
No, I wasn't.
Okay. That's what the charge. Well, I'm going to read you a search warrant. I'll read you the arrest warrant and stuff like that.
I would
Ma'am,
like that.
could you step out of the vehicle?
Yeah,
real quick.
Please continue to record.
I am.
Hey, and don't let them in the house until you read the search warrant.
You have keys to the house, because I don't want to have to break the door.
No, we have a code to our house.
Can you provide me the code to the house?
Where's the warrant? You're going to give me a warrant before you ask me for a code to my house.
That's not how this works.
That's how it works.
I don't have to.
You do have to show me a warrant before you go into my house.
I will provide you one if you're
okay.
If you work with us. The person who has the warrant is on their way.
Okay. Well, when they get here, we'll go into the house. No problem.
It's not how this works.
That is how it works.
Now I'm going to ask you again nicely. Can I please have the code to your door so I don't have to smash your door?
You guys took a damn oath. Look at this shit. Okay, I don't want anyone in my house until I see the warrant.
Okay, well, here's the honest truth, and I apologize. I'm not trying to be difficult with you. Technically, they don't have to give it to you. They don't.
Really?
They'll give it to you when they're done with it. They don't have to show it to you before.
Really? Explain this all to you. You're just not listening. Or you don't want to listen, or you think you know it all.
This is illegal search and seizure, and they used those 2 misdemeanors to do a search and turn up weapons that claims of classified documents that were obviously planted. I say obviously planted because, number one, they resisted doing forensic evidence, testing. And when they were forced to, they found that there was no DNA on these grenades and things that matched Jeremy Brown or any of the carpet fibers from his house or trailer or pets and so on, where there was no record of them ever having been stolen. If Jeremy Brown had stolen them and had them in his possession, the government would have had a record of that. He had no connection to the so-called evidence. The classified documents turned out to be a template. So basically, this is something that happened to another January 6th defendant, Benjamin Martin, okay, where they used misdemeanor charges as a pretext to do a search and seizure and then looked for something to pin on you. And Jeremy Brown, actually, you can listen to that recording. It's on whoisjeremybrown.com. He also wrote a letter that he read for the American people on the very first day of the January 6th Select Committee charade. And if you can find that online, it's one of the most moving things that you will ever listen to hear Jeremy Brown talking about, what was really required of all of us in that moment, of how they stood for the Republic and stood for the Constitution and those principles, and how this charade that was being presented to the people was an abject lie. And at the end, he uses something, Steve. He cites his prison number.
My name is Jeremy Brown, inmate 1875858.
We, as the United States, teach our soldiers to give to give that message and that number to people so they know how to find you. It's really a cry for help, for everyone in the community who understands what that means. There is a saying in the United States military that there's no man left behind. But Jeremy Brown has been left behind. And when I went and interviewed him in prison, he said to me, I said, you could be here for a long time, Jeremy. And he said, I'll be here for as long as the American people leave me here. Well, President Donald Trump promised Jeremy Brown's mother, Lisa, that when he met her, he said, I will get your son out of jail. And thanks to Donald Trump, the J6 misdemeanor charges have been dismissed because all these years in jail, and Jeremy's never actually gone to trial on that. But the weapons charges that came out of the search and seizure from the January 6 charges is what is keeping him in the DC gulag right now. It's what's keeping him behind bars.
Okay. Can you guys please help me get Green Beret Master Sergeant Jeremy Brown out of jail? He received a presidential pardon weeks ago, and they're still holding him in custody. Jeremy Brown served our country for 20 plus years, earning himself 2 Bronze Stars. He's been in jail now for more than 1,200 days, and he needs our help. They offered him a plea deal, and he refused the plea deal. Guys, get this video out to as many people as you possibly can. I just learned about Jeremy a couple of days ago, and I really feel a responsibility to repay some of the stuff that he's done for all of us. So please share this video.